Wow! I can't believe I'm holding the key to shaking up Mondstadt's entire wine industry in my own 2 hands! I can just see it now. The more alcohol those drug fruits consume, the more sober they'll become!
I wonder if it could also be used to turn water into wine?
Alternatively, a strength-enhancing potion could make it so that Paimon could take down an Abyss Mage all on her own. How are we supposed to make a potion like that? The pain from walking on all that rough terrain. It's like it was never there. With this in my arsenal, I bet I could deliver 200 orders in a single day. Excuse me. Coming through. Coming through. Jerry, your shipment's here.
Need a bit of letting out around the middle.
No, just ran into a bit of trouble.
It's up to me to decide who I want to be and to cut my own path. No one can tell me what to do. Let's go, Tomato. Delicate as silk. Next customer, the Sphina's on the case.
Is Fiori here? I'd like to return my outfit. What kind of rags are you trying to sell us, huh?
Ugh, you didn't get bought out by my competitors, did you? Cat's tail. Ah, what a nice surprise.
Don't tell me you came to learn Genius Invocation TCG without bringing any cards. It is time to see what you are made of. With sword comes shadow. Go as one!
Welcome everyone to the 2024 Season 2 Catskills Gathering Asia Finals. I'm your host, Coach Creations, the production head for the TCG community, and I'm joined by my wonderful fellow co-caster, Kettle.
Hello, I'm Kettle Toro. I make Genshin shirts on YouTube and stream on Twitch, so you might recognize me from there. I am so excited to be here today.
That's right. Coming hot off the heels of the first anniversary patch back in 4.3, we're now in 4.4, and what seems to be the exciting trends of 4 character cards per patch. Even more of your favorites can join the fray in the Battlefield Dyson cards.
Not only character cards, but action cards too, starring some of our favorite NPCs like Jet, Silver, and Baloo. I'm so glad they added them.
Absolutely, they deserve all of it. Despite all the additions, Catskills Gathering is still your familiar place for competitive duels of TCG. Let's go ahead and take a look at today's format. We do have some additions to talk about this time.
We do.
I'm excited. Got lots of stuff to talk about.
I am so excited for the new changes we're about to discuss.
Yeah, definitely something we'll comment on. We're going to quickly blaze through this and we'll mark more comments later as we go. Alright, so as usual, the Catskills Gathering is Hoyo vs. Genius Invocation TCG competition hosted by Genshin Impact Tavern.
And today is the finals of the Asia server, where the top 4 contestants will battle it out for the top 3 places in a series of best of 3 matches. This knockouts features a new format for the first time, which is Conquest. Players can actually play the same deck again, however, they will have to change their deck if they win.
Even with the Conquest format changes, our contestants still have come a long way, defeating the top 16 during their grueling week of preliminaries.
And today's matches will decide once and for all who will be crowned the champion and walk away with a grand prize of $1,000.
Huge stacks coming out from these tournaments. But that's not all players will be walking away with. Like we mentioned last season, we have the introduction to the Catskills points. So if you weren't here, we'll go ahead and talk about it again. Players from rank 1 through 32 in this competition will receive a different amount of points based on their placing. These points, when added together from seasons 1 and 2, will allow players to qualify the Series Showdown tournaments, a gauntlet featuring your region's top places to duel it out for invitations to the Prince Cup.
The Prince Cup. So this is the final season for them to qualify for Series Showdown. With that out of the way, on to our matches.
And we're jumping right in. So we got our third place match right here with Salty versus Mochizuki.
After that, we'll be going into the grand finals, where the entire championship will be decided between Ozma and Injagi.
That's right. And I'm ready to see some matches. We have something very interesting this time around to see what we have in terms of decks, because it's mostly aggressive, I would say.
Ooh, it is. So our first play here is Salty. Would you like to run us through the deck, Kojo?
Sure thing. It is Mew, Mona Wanderer Eula. Is a very familiar deck ever since Wanderer's introduction, and I'm very glad it stays the test of time, because this is my favorite deck, for Wanderer. But very aggressive, able to, first off, you freeze, you apply Hydra to everyone, and then Eula can come in and sweep through the end game. And I think
it's really fun.
Yeah, no, it is super fun. We'll see if Salty will be able to take it down through this match. We'll kind of flip over to the other side to get everything rolling right now.
And on the other side, we have Mochizuki, who's playing Official Nahida Linny, affectionately known as a Finally.
That's right. Finally is here to stay from 4.3, and a few changes this time, because there were a few modifications. Looks like the not necessarily introduction, but more usage of the affectionately call it the 4-star Gilded Dreams in there, which last time you didn't really need to run it, but this time I feel like they want to get a little more consistency, a little more card draw in there.
Ooh, so could you run us through what the Gilded Dreams does?
Sure thing. So the regular Gilded Dreams, the 5-star Gilded Dreams really, is if you are running 3 different types of elements in your deck. If you don't run 3 different types of elements, it doesn't work. But it'll generate an Omni dice as well as another dice of the character that you played it on top of. Additionally, if you create an elemental reaction, then it will draw you a card up to the limit of 2 times.
That sounds really good. So how's the 4-star one different?
The 4-star one different. The 4-star one is different by it just gives you the card draw.
Ah, I see. So what do you think about these two decks against each other?
These 2 decks, both of them, since we both got to see these last season, it's nice, get some consistency for the players who, don't follow the game super duper often. But they're both super aggressive, and not only that, but they both have the arcane card Fresh Wind and Freedom, which allows you to continue your turn if you were able to knock out a character.
Oh, that's really, really scary.
It is as the stars foretold.
I'm very excited to see 2 very aggressive decks being played against each other.
Yeah, I want to say that Finally has the most amount of explosive power in this matchup, because Fischl and Nahida combine their abilities with Quicken, and they can get off a lot more consistent damage. But of course, on the other side, Salty will get all Hydra applied to everyone thanks to Wanderer, and then Eula can just knock out the endgame, which is a little scary, you know?
I'm excited for some freeze reactions getting in the way here, actually.
Yeah, that is true. That's a really good point, actually, because Linny, you know, since he can heal himself after using
Delved into destiny.
skill, he can heal himself. He can heal himself with bewildering lights. But if he's frozen, I mean, what are you gonna do?
True. All right, so it looks like both players have decided this is a fairly standard opening. Gojo.
I'd say for Salty, for sure, always start Mona. You would almost never start any other character, but on Mochizuki's side, they are pushing towards a Linny, and as we can see, I think it might be the result of their dice roll, because typically you like to go Nahida, but there might be an alternative line I'm not seeing here.
Good point, because they only have 3 die left, and it's 2 pyro, so I guess they're just making the most of their die that they have in their hand.
Yeah, generally speaking. Now, typically the advantage of this opening, I would say, is because you get overload, so you push someone off of the characters. But the thing about Mew is that realistically, there's not really a bad swap, because since Mona applies, you know, Hydra to the first character, and then her summon's going to apply in the end phase, no matter who it is, they're either going to get swirled or frozen.
True. So that really gives a lot of things to think about for Mochizuki. The end phase damage coming out, doing a whopping 4 damage to Wanderer, and swapping over to Eula. Yeah, it does not. Alright, let's look at the die rolls. What is Salty looking for here?
Salty should definitely be fishing for Cryo and, well, Animo. There you go.
He got an
dice.
insane
Huge.
roll. Holy crap, Salty in with the high roll.
That's right. Mochizuki probably still
is
thinking about what they got.
Yeah, you're right. Looks like they're thinking about what they want to keep.
Yeah. I think ultimately on Salty's end of things, I don't really mind having that overload start, because it goes both ways. You freeze Linny and you do a good amount of damage to him, which is definitely good because he's usually the endgame sweeper. But Mochizuki knows this, and they're probably just gonna move back to Nahida and, you know, use all the
Crush!
There we go.
I
Boom!
see.
4 damage.
Ooh, 4 damage. That's insane. Along with the freeze on Linny, taking him out for this round.
Yeah, there's
Now
no
Mochizuki
ability to
thinking
break
about
out
who
of
they
the ice
should
cube.
swap to. Oh yeah, you can't unfreeze your characters, right?
Yeah, no, none of that. You
Not
can
like in
only
the game.
unapply elements from yourself with the Joyous Celebration, but that's not really being played this time. It's definitely an interesting point to bring up that the arcane cards that I was talking about earlier,
Yeah.
you know, the Stove card was changed, the one that draws you up to 4 cards if it's round 4. It was changed to be -1, so a lot of people were disincentivized to run, instead really diversified their arcane cards in their lineup.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, me personally, I'm happy because I love Fresh Wind and Freedom. It's my favorite arcane card because
Yes,
it just sets
I
up the
love
most
it too.
explosive plays. Yeah.
It's so fun. Like it could be so clutch, you know?
Absolutely. Like, especially when you're playing like on your own, it's such a rush to it's such a rush to just like let it out. It's like, all right, I got my win condition.
Yes, and then you can like finish 2 characters off in a row and basically take the game. That's insane.
That's
Alright.
right.
Now it's Salty's turn thinking about what to do here. Do you think they're just gonna go out swinging with Eula again?
Most likely, like that seems like the play that should happen here. I'm kind of thinking about it because, you know, like they're obviously taking a minute to make this play happen. There you go. Right?
First, okay, wow, yikes! Taking out another character from Mochizuki. They only have Nahida left as an active character.
That's right. Even with 7 dice, Nahida is not able to do much here because ideally you like to 5 cost with Nahida so you can get her seed debuff applied to everybody. But you still could do a 3. You could do a 3 skill and 3 skill, and then you get seed debuff on everybody. But that you have to tune some cards for that. So
I mean, they do have enough stacks for that. Not stacks. They do have enough die for that, don't they?
yeah, they do.
Mochizuki.
One of the things I was thinking about bringing up, because I was like, because they were in that position to like, okay, do I go in on official or do I swap? And I think Salty did ultimately the best play by using Burst, because since Burst is physical damage and both of these characters are frozen, physical damage will trigger the Shatter reaction, doing bonus damage onto characters who are frozen.
Wow, that is devastating. And the swap to Linny, are they going to sacrifice Linny?
Yeah, most likely, and it's really unfortunate. I think that's like the biggest play from Salty, is putting them in sort of a sacrifice play situation where you have no choice here but to sacrifice either Fischl or Linny.
And it looks like Mochizuki has decided to sacrifice their Linny. That is insane. That was quick.
Yeah.
Salty now deciding whether or not they really want to take out that Linny. Will a single auto attack from Eula be able to finish him off?
Let me see here. So right now, I think Eula has Grimheart activated, the little cryo icicle at the bottom of her card. She also has a weapon, which I believe was Wolf's Greystone, which is also going to add additional damage. But regardless, let's just calculate base damage. Two at base, and then +1 from weapon, so that's 3. And then we add the Shatter reaction, which I believe is +1, so that's 4. Yeah, he's cooked. Oh, 7! It probably was Wolf's Greystone.
That's insane. That was a really smart decision not to swap to Nihida there then. But there's still the end phase damage coming out from Eula's burst that I'm really worried about.
Yeah, not only, it's one of the things that Eula's burst is just kind of okay, but now that she's actually able to stack it, it's going to be a lot more devastating because she can stack it up with her normal attacks and skill.
But it looks like it's the end of Salty's round. They're out of die, and now Mochizuki thinking about what to do here. Which character will take the end phase damage? Do you think he's going to let Nihida take it and also be low, or do you think he's going to keep his Nihida healthy?
I think, unfortunately, Nihida has to take the damage because of how much, even with just one stack, it's enough for Salty Summon to take out Fischl completely thanks to Shatter.
That is
Ooh, I haven't lost yet, coming into the fray.
Yes, Nihida, Elemental Burst coming out here. Leaving Eula on 4 health. That is kind of low, and there will be the end phase damage in her as well.
Yeah, Quicken is currently not up, so you won't be getting the bonus damage, but it might leave her on 1 or knocked out, actually. Of course, because Nihida does every reaction +2, so this should do 2 + 2. Oh, yeah, and then there's a C debuff, I think.
Oh! Finishing off Eula, taking her out of the game. Both players are now on 2 cards. That was quick.
Really quick. Taking it, it's interesting that it's kind of they're playing in reverse. You know, Linny and Eula are sort of the endgame sweepers in this deck, and they both like, okay, you take my carry, I take your carry. We trade. Shake hands.
Nice. That was really amazing. Nice plays from Mochizuki, putting Salty at an even playing field. It was really looking like Salty had the advantage for a second there, but Nihida just made such quick work of the Eula.
I for the most part definitely like the checkmate play there to kind of force them to sacrifice a character, and you really have to think about like your elemental reaction. It's like, okay, what is going to make sure I can seal the game off? And I think Fischl Nihida is definitely more reliable than like Fischl Linny. So.
So that was a smart play from Mochizuki, but now it is Salty's turn thinking about what to do with their Mona. Do you think they're going to apply their skill again as usual?
They definitely need to apply their skill. It looks like they need to tune 1 card, so that's why they're taking a bit of time to decide. They do have weapons in hand, which I believe is Tutalia's Remembrance, which will increase Wanderer's charge attack damage, which may be enough to just KO a character on site, which is kind of crazy.
Ooh, that's insane.
They burned it!
Alright, they burnt a card to tune a die.
Yeah, I think they might have it's probably the 1 copy of Tutalia's Remembrance, because right now they have another 3-cost weapon in their hand. I can actually go take a look and see. I'm pretty sure the average player during this patch is usually going to run just one of each weapon, thanks to the draw power of Wagner. But, who knows, maybe they have a curveball that I didn't catch on when we were reviewing the decks. I
see. Oh, Lotus Crisp coming out.
Delved into destiny.
To take more damage. Here comes Mona's summon. Now back to Mochizuki. With a 4 health Nihida. What will they do?
Yeah. It's actually a pretty bad position, because even if Nihida wouldn't get knocked out immediately by Wanderer, it would put her pretty low, to the point where she wouldn't really survive for much longer.
Yes. Do you think
Yeah,
it's
and
just going
also-
to apply Danger again?
Most likely, yeah. Even if she was able to knock out Eula, she has no seed debuffs on field. At least no extra electro application to come in the end phase to capitalize on her burst buff from Maya Shrine. So, is as much as she has her buffs under her, there's still not a lot to capitalize on it right now.
I see. Applying an artifact onto Fischl. What does that artifact do, Kojo?
I didn't quite catch it, unfortunately, but is either taking a look, directly at Mochizuki's decks. It should either be the guild.
Caches.
Vorukashes? Ah, yes. Vorukashes, basically what happens is that if you're the character who takes damage, then you will draw one card.
Ooh, okay, great for getting more cards on Mochizuki's side. Still thinking about what to do. Would you just skill with Nahida at this point?
I think, yeah, you don't have a choice since, Wanderer, of course, if he activates his skill, he will hit off-field, and Nahida would be, in lethal range, so it would be kind of too late for her to do anything if they tried to...
That is true.
Metal.
I guess Salty also has to take, not Salty, Mochizuki also has to take into account the fact that Wanderer has the unique ability to target characters that are off-field.
That's right.
That's a really scary thought to consider.
Yeah. Something I haven't quite pointed
over to
out is that
Fischl.
Mochizuki is probably fishing for more, more action cards that can generate more dice. Currently, they have Yayoi Natsuki out in the field and artifacts equipped on those characters. So Gilded Dreams, that card we mentioned earlier, that can generate more dice, is going to be triggerable at 0. But
I see. Salty going for a support card round, just spamming support cards.
I am
Maybe they'll
kind of
play
surprised by
something.
that, Yeah, it's a little dangerous considering that, as much as it's only 2 characters left, Nahida and Fischl can output a lot of damage, and right now, we might about to see. Oh, there we go. We also get to see what was on.
Oh, and it's so scary. I can't believe Salty did that actually when Mochizuki had so many die,
Everyone hold hands.
which would really allow him to do a lot in the end game. Oh, taking out Nahida with the seeds!
There goes Mo. Ooh, I think
Mochizuki again wiping a character in the end phase. Never mind, leaving Wanderer on 1 health.
but I think someone is gonna come in for the sweeping endgame.
Oh, and the summon
We're-
finishes the game, taking out Salty, giving
GG.
Mochizuki game 1. Oh my goodness, that was insane.
Yeah, super quick. I definitely got worried when Salty dropped all the support cards. Like, they were basically setting up next round so they could have a weapon and pretty much guaranteed lethal both characters in just one swing. But a little too much. You gotta remember, it is the Magic meta. So, your player can always just pop out extra dice as long as they have the cards that they need.
That is insane. I bet they weren't expecting Mochizuki to be able to pull so many die out of their pocket at that last moment. What even gave them that much die?
It was the combination of Gilded Dreams and the Yayoi Natsuki, reducing it all the way down to 0. So they also had Gamblers to capitalize off of that.
Oh, the Gamblers. Gamblers is where when you finish off a character, you get more die. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That is insane. That was such a well played from Mochizuki. Now,
Ooh.
Salty here is still playing their same deck because they lost, so they're allowed to play the same deck again.
Yep, we're bringing in that Conquest format. And also the thing I was trying to catch earlier is that they're running the other weapon is 1,000 Floating Dreams, which just gives you a bonus on elemental reactions, which is good for Wanderer. Yeah, but regardless, it's 1 copy. So if we see that weapon burnt, that's a very intentional choice. You really have to consider if losing that weapon is okay for you or not.
Salty had a very, very scary start earlier, so let's see if they'll be able to have that same start and carry its momentum into the end game.
All right, Mochizuki over here. We're switching over to Yelan OTK.
How does this deck work, Kojo? OTK meaning 1 turn kill, right?
That's right. Familiar deck from last season. You basically get Yelan burst out as fast as possible, and then you use Electro Charge and Freeze to try and OTK your opponent. And it does have it's going to be a little different this time because there's no Infinite Lightning Rod on our good friend Thunder Manifestation here.
Oh, a nerf was it?
Yeah,
That sounds like a
little
huge
bit of a
nerf.
balance adjustment. It was let's be honest, it was a little overbearing, but you know, regardless, you still get at least one usage of lightning rod before it's gone. So
That's still really strong. That's insane. Being able to target a character no matter where they are, even if they're like off field, you can't run away from the lightning rod. That's terrifying.
and more importantly, you know, the bonus damage as well is definitely an issue.
True. All right. Looks like both players have different Arcane Legend cards this time.
That's right. On the side of Mochizuki, they're going to be running Covenant of the Rock, which generates 2 dice if you have none, and that's great for OTK decks because all the characters in that deck have great synergy with normal attacks. Yelan can do a normal charged attack, which will give her Hydro Infusion, you know, and then the other 2 all deal elemental damage. So it's really useful, you know, when you just need to squeeze out that one last hit.
Ooh, what about Salty? What is that arcane card?
Yeah, that's the one we saw last round. It is the Fresh Wind and Freedom, where you get to take an extra turn.
Oh, that's Fresh Wind and Freedom. Right.
We didn't get to see it last time because Mochizuki actually tossed away their Fresh Wind and Freedom early in the round.
It is as the stars
I didn't even
foretold.
notice. That's insane.
Yeah, it tends to be an intent, like, you know, it tends to be like a little bit of a difficult choice. Like, my opinion is that whenever I play Fresh Wind and Freedom, I'll always toss it out, and hopefully it comes back later. But it's also risky because, like, you're gonna be playing an aggressive deck, and if it's not there when you need it, you're just like, oh no.
True. Gotta decide whether you wanna gacha your way through the game. Okay, great. Both characters have been selected.
Even with draw consistency, you can still just bottom deck a card, and that'll be really unfortunate. You have to find your way out of that situation, you know?
Alright, looks like Salty has quite a bit of Anemo die this time. But they're still starting off with Mona, probably wanting to get her skill on the board, playing support cards again.
Very good, drawing Gilded Dreams and Wagner, so they're going to be able to set up early. One thing for Wagner's, and kind of the last time they had to set it up so early, because, you know, Wagner's, what he does is that if he has enough charges, that little timer icon that's on Timaeus right now, he will reduce the original cost of your weapons, which all cost 3. But he starts at 2. So
you have to play him early or you're not getting him off.
That is really interesting. Well, it's good that Salty got him that early, but it is going to cost quite a bit of die to put him down. Does Salty want to use all their die this round just to do that?
Yeah, that's definitely where I start to run into problems. I'm like, ooh, do I want to do this? Like, you know, because the first turn is super important nowadays, you know, with these aggressive decks, you know?
I think he definitely wants to at least get the Mona skill out there for the end phase damage, I'm sure. Ooh, drawing Wolf's Gravestone for their Eula.
Yeah. Interesting start from Mochizuki, dropping to Senora, because typically, since it's Yelan OTK, you always start with Yelan, just get that burst, go. But looks like they wanna do an alternate line, so.
Now that's interesting, given that they actually have no cryo die. They chose to start with Signora. They have quite a bit of Hydro die actually, so I thought they would definitely go for Yelan.
I think it may be trying to field off the damage because when it comes to what's happening on Salty's side is that they're gonna apply Hydro and then Wanderer's gonna swirl it. But I don't know, it's Wanderer always attacks off field, so maybe I'm not too worried.
I see. The swap over to the Yelan. Matsutake meat rolls.
They're going for the triple.
Get her burst as soon as possible. That is terrifying. That is so smart. And Yelan has a burst ready on the first round.
Yeah, that is huge. You know, not using any energy generation cards and just using 1 food to get maximum value out of it. It's definitely not a play I see typically. Yeah,
usually Matsutake meat rolls is used to, like, you know, allow a character to spam the normal attack to do as much damage as possible, but here it was just used to get his burst really early, and that's insane.
Yeah, especially, you know, like the greedy player inside me is just like, oh, I gotta get, like, Yelan's charged attack, like, you know, in later rounds, because I can do Hydro damage, but it doesn't matter. You got the burst, you're ready to roll. Yeah, that's such a smart play from Mochizuki. I am so impressed. I do wonder if they picked Signora to kind of throw Salty off about that. Yeah, most definitely. I think that was the play. Because for me, I definitely registered. I'm like, why are you starting Senora? You're not gonna that cryo application is not gonna do much for you here. You were playing mind games, 4D chess. Wow, that's really exciting. I'm really wondering how well this early Yelan burst is going to
pay off now.
Yeah, the players are really like taking hard considerations because it's now turn 2. This is the round where things will start to get a little, forgive the pun, a little dicey. Characters start dishing out ridiculous damage.
Yikes. Well, Mona already on 5 health from all the normal attack spam coming from Yelan. Salty has a full board of support cards. Let's see if those really come into play soon.
Yeah, they got a pretty good stuff right now in hand. In terms of at least like Timaeus is at both 3 and 2 charges respectively, so they can get 2 artifacts off of that. Wagner is also at 3 charges, so that also means a free weapon, which I believe they have Wolf's Gravestone hiding in the pocket. Of course, I can't quite see. We gotta once they pull it up, we'll know. It'll be a surprise.
I remember seeing Salty draw Wolf's Gravestone earlier, so I'm very confident
nice.
it's inside their deck. Do you think they could actually just maybe swap to Eula and freeze the Yelan to keep her from getting off her burst?
That's actually definitely a good consideration since they're holding turn advantage, which is definitely bad in Mochizuki's favor because they could, yeah, you're right, just freeze Yelan and then they're forced to swap over to Thunder Manifestation and Senora to kind of hold out this round.
I do wonder if Salty's considering that or something else. Will they apply Mona's skill again? Because they only have 1 turn to do this. The moment we swap over to Mochizuki, you know that burst is coming down immediately.
Absolutely. And also the timer is ticking down. 10 seconds on the clock. Gotta make a decision. All right, they calculated against it.
Wanderer. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
I wonder what they're hoping to achieve with the Wanderer. Do you think it's because of their die?
No, it definitely they have enough cards to tune in hand. I think they calculated that the freeze ultimately isn't worth it because they should have enough to start mowing down their characters at this rate.
Alright, Salty probably doing lots of calculations in their head. Thinking about what to do now with their Wanderer.
Yeah, I think, because if I look at swapping to Eula, what would happen is that, like, you could equip WGS for free, but then you, like, you do a really big hit, and you're like, oh.
The wind rises.
Ooh, sacrificing gamblers to tune a die in order to get Wanderer's win favorite state going.
Yeah.
So now he will do empowered normal attacks, and he will attack the surrounding character, correct?
Yeah, just the person to the right always.
Ooh, that's so interesting. I really love that mechanic.
Yeah, it really is something that I'm glad it's able to stick around. Like this deck, like I said, it was the deck that ultimately surfaced out of like Wanderer's original introduction, and it's the one I really do enjoy the most because there's so many dynamic elements, and also just the kind of checkmate system where it's like, okay, everyone has Hydro. If you don't start avoiding that, I'm gonna freeze you in the end game and I win. I
see. All right, now Yelan's burst is ready. Is Mochizuki considering perhaps actually not bursting right now, despite rushing it?
It would be interesting if they didn't consider burst because they do have the flexibility to do so. They do have 8 dice in hand as well as Gilded Dreams in hand and Yayoi. So, they can generate just a teeny bit more dice. And then, Wanderer isn't in any threat of, knocking out anyone right now. All right, Gilded Dreams coming out.
Ooh, extra die on the table. And dicey. Here comes the dicey ult.
Yep. It also, they use that to fix up the dice. I mean, of course, Yelan. Reference, not your talent card isn't being played, but I do love it a lot because it does fix your convert your dice to Omni dice, which is huge. So.
Both players now just trading normal attacks. Yelan really doing quite a lot of damage from her burst.
Yep. Very interesting here. It's kind of the advantage of Yelan over Xingqiu is that since Yelan's dice is round based, she actually fired off a dice shot right there. Just cause.
Ooh, interesting. All right, timer really running out on Salty.
Yeah, drop the fast swap to get a little more time just to make sure they can get a decision in, but they do not have a lot of cards in hands or things to sort of lower, at least get at one more normal attack, but...
not too many options.
10 seconds. Your time is almost up, buddy.
Ooh, what do you think they're gonna do? Alright, they decided to get Wanderer's
Burst as the stars foretold.
Boss swap to the Mona. Do you think they swapped to Mona to let her soak up the damage?
Yeah, generally, she can not only soak up the damage, but since she has that, that passive fast swap, she will always be able to take the turn advantage, and then Wanderer will guaranteed burst on whoever is
True,
sitting
that's
on field.
a really smart play from Salty, keeping the Wanderer safe while still allowing them the flexibility to swap.
Yeah, it's those checkmate situations I mentioned. That's like once once the new player heads on the Mona, then it's like, you know, you're gonna have a bit of a tough time. You can't. Well,
like...
actually, not even a tough time.
It looks like Mochizuki actually opted to play more support cards instead of doing turns in order to allow them to have first mover's advantage in the next round.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they kind of realized that since they're locked in the situation, it's better to let just Salty, like, you know, because now Salty has to move. So either, you know, they really should swap to Wanderer to just burst down Yelan, but then, you know, that leaves them open to Thunder Manifestation and Senora with Death Claire and Dice active. So
true, that is terrifying. All right,
yeah, absolutely.
Salty.
This deck can shred. So it does a significant amount of damage. When I was you know, kind of playing it through the season, I'm like, oh, this, like, even if Thunder Manifestation had some changes, there's a lot of damage, you know.
And now Salty thinking about what to do here. They have quite a bit of an ammo die for their Wanderer if they do want to burst with him.
Yeah. One play to consider, you know, like, one play to consider here, because we mentioned the WGS earlier, which works off of if the character has 6 HP, you'll do bonus damage. So I believe Yelan and Thunder Manifestation are actually in danger right now if they put WGS on Eula.
I see. Well, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah,
Salty's
you
really
can see they're
considering.
taking their time on this turn. Like, they really gotta think that, like,
so many options. Like, do you swap to Eula? Do you swap to Wanderer? Do you just skill with Mona? What do you do?
What do
here?
you want
The
from me?
swap over to Wanderer, giving them a bit more time on the clock. Do you think they're just gonna drop their burst on Yelan, taking her out?
I think ultimately you don't have a choice. Oh, Fresh Wind and Freedom, very smart.
Fresh Wind and
very good.
Freedom. Let's go. Salty's going for a big turn here. Taking out Yelan with 8 damage, but he gets to go again thanks to the Arcane Legends card. Now Salty,
I actually
what
did
to
not
do
consider
next.
that angle. That's really big.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, not only that, but Senora is now down to 6 HP, so now she's also in threat of WGS, but she has a revive. But
True, she does have a revive. A Eula could be really good here for just freezing them both, I think.
It would be a decent turn, but they only have 4 dice left, so they can
only
only
have
freeze
4
one character.
die. Correct. But at least their weapon is free. They do get a free Wolf's Gravestone.
Yeah, absolutely. Mochizuki here is definitely considering, like, who do I let take the damage, because Wanderer is gonna swing at least once, and he'll do 2 damage to the active character. So
True. And it will take away the Hydra application, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would take away one of them. Yeah.
I see. Well, Mochizuki is first picking which character they really want to soak up that damage. Who would you even pick in this situation?
It's my answer would be Thunder Manifestation, because I mean, of course you can't assume in this meta, because, you know, Gilded Dreams is always the omnipresent threat, but Thunder, like, Senora is your endgame sweeper in my opinion, because
but yet they
you know, like,
Senora.
Yeah, I guess she does get a freeze, so that's definitely a fair choice, because even if Wanderer does 2 damage, it doesn't matter that much.
True. And she still has her revive. Too bad she
Yeah,
doesn't have
absolutely.
a
And
third
it doesn't
one.
look like Mochizuki. Yeah. Mochizuki does have food in hand, so they could also just heal, so they're not too worried about it.
It does look like Mochizuki has quite a bit of a cards advantage. They have a lot more options in their hand. They have some food, even though they do have 1 less character.
That's right.
However,
Yeah, even
they still-
here...
They still have Yelan's burst active, don't they? Even though she's out of mission right now.
Yeah, even if she's out of the game, that's the nice thing about support characters. Their stuff usually does stay active unless, you know, specifically specified. Dropping out the 2 Talia's Remembrance and popping into that 2 damage.
Oh wow, both of Mochizuki's characters now down to 4 health.
Also, it's very nice that the Instructor's Artifact on Wanderer has now gained him an extra dice, so they do get 1 extra action.
That is huge actually for this round.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe since he's going to attack the off-field character, Thunder Manifestation is actually out of the game.
Oh, you could be right.
Nice. Good move.
Oh, and the freeze coming out from Signora, actually keeping Thunder Manifestation alive since...
It is as the stars foretold.
Can't wait.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, since Wanderer can't act and finish off the Thundering Manifestation.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, that
That's
Senora
really
play,
smart.
that Senora swap was ultimately calculated because
Yeah.
they probably pushed it out. It's like, oh wait, he can get one more dice and he stop his actions immediately. So freeze is the better move.
Able to keep the Thundering Manifestation alive. Fast swap over to Thundering
Whoa.
Manifestation.
Something's coming though.
Gamblers! Oh, do you think they're going in for the kill?
See that little? That's got some Wanderer's got a little debuff. You know what that means?
Oh my gosh, I am scared.
Yeah, they're just making sure, checking it over, just make sure this is the right move.
Yep. He's
Oh.
about to get a lot of die. Oh, not choosing to nuke the. Oh, right! The reaction!
The electro charge comes down.
Electro charge takes out Wanderer, getting Mona on 1 health.
Yeah, collateral damage comes down, takes out Wanderer and Mona.
stars.
Oh dear.
Another attack from the Thundering Manifestation taking out Mona. Now Eula on 7 health. That is terrifying. Both of their bursts locked and ready.
Yeah, huge damage coming out.
How does Mochizuki keep doing this?
They got that
They
MMR
just keep
in the combo. Oh, and I think that's the last hit. Boom.
What a start.
What a clean sweep they took there.
What a clean. What just happened? I
They
am
made sure
in
to
shock.
calculate for the future damage, and boom, that's it. That's all they need. MMR into that's how strong Yelan OTK is. A 1-turn kill.
That is insane. Mochizuki suddenly just turned Uno reverse card the entire game and took out Salty so quickly. What? And
Yeah.
because of that, Mochizuki wins 3rd place in season 2 of the Cat's Tail Gathering. Congratulations, Mochizuki. Very well played from both players.
Yeah, that was a really exciting round. Both very aggressive decks, but the players stopping, just calculate every line. That's the kind of thing you need in top placement, that you need to start being able to calculate moves ahead of the ones that you do.
Very, very smart plays ahead of time. All right, we'll now be taking a short intermission break of 10 minutes. Go grab some water, snacks, and be sure to stay on to catch the grand finals of the entire competition.
That's right. That's right. We got some exciting matches, so stay tuned, and we'll be right back. right, folks, welcome back from the break, everybody. We're about to head into the grand finals. I hope the games will be as riveting as the last one.
I'm excited to see who will be crowned champion.
Yeah,
I am really excited to see more decks today, Kojo.
Yeah, last round being OTK and still being decks that we're familiar with, just played at such a high level. Is really nice to see, because I mean, of course, OTK, aggro, it's everywhere. It's like, kind of like the people pleaser deck. You can't. How do you not get excited about huge damage and gamblers into like extra turns? It's a lot of stuff can happen at once.
OTK is so exciting. Just seeing the attack over and over again and wipe out the entire squad is insane. I really like that play early on from Mochizuki. I hope we'll get to see more of that in the upcoming finals.
Yep. We're gonna take a look at their decks very soon.
Yes.
Right.
But first, we have the brackets taking a look at the battles the players have fought so far to make it to the top. Is there anyone you recognize, Kojo?
Absolutely. So the players that we're going to be seeing, of course, Inzaghi and Ozma. I, of course, recognize Inzaghi going all the way down to the Asher Carnival Prince Cup over in Asia, in the Asia Invitational.
Wow.
I, of course, also recognize Glace de Fontaine. I recognize Diarin. I recognize...
Oh, yes. Diarin, Ice-T. They were in Season 1, but looks like they got knocked out, actually, by Salty. And wow, that's insane. Because those players were played really well last season as well. All right, first we have Ozma, who is playing Singtiu Chungyin Razor. What do you think about this deck, Gojo?
Yeah, this is, I would say, old concepts, but brought into new because we have our advent of the Hyper Magic or Jet Engine. As you can see, because, well, affectionately known as the profile picture, but in the deck is Jet.
Ah, the Jet Engine.
Yeah, but you know,
so
either
funny.
way, I think the name can go either way. But yes, it's
Nice,
a very
nice.
exciting deck. Something to note, there's no food.
There's no flute?
There's no food.
Oh, food.
No 3 damage
You're
prevention
right.
Lotus Crisp. It's do or be knocked out.
Oh, that's crazy. That is so insane. I can't imagine not bringing food actually. But Ozma here is not afraid. I really wonder if that's gonna pay off actually, the lack of food. Just, you know, pure support cards and everything. And next we have Injagi. Oh my goodness, I love their
Oh my god.
I love their pictures.
Yes, those are pictures from the Asia Invitational. Oh my goodness.
Whoa, that's a flex. But also that is adorable. I don't know, man. But anyway,
Yeah,
they're playing.
that is his signature sloth doll. Affectionately, Inzaghi sometimes names himself Sloth inside the game, which is very cool because he has a sloth doll. I got to see it in real life. I believe that top right picture is actually from the America Winter Invitational, which I got to see in it. So.
This guy's stacked. Anyway, Yolande, Thundering Manifestation, and Signora. We've seen this before.
Yep, saw it last round. Pretty standard. There's not too many changes between this list. There is, I think, the removal of the 4-star Gilded Dreams, but that's kind of it, you know, for the most part.
I see. I feel like I've seen Injagi a bunch of times. Actually, across the time I've casted, I've seen him quite a few times. He is really a well-known player in the TCG scene, isn't he?
Absolutely, just like swinging in from 3.7, absolute prodigy of a player. You know, great.
Insane. I just love the photo collage. It brings so much joy.
Yeah.
So how do you think these two decks interact with each other?
It's hard to say. After the showing of last round with Yelan OTK, I don't know. I mean, that seems pretty good, but into the matchup of this. It is a tough call to make, because okay, as much as the thing that we mentioned earlier, because now we can kind of deep dive as we get into the rounds, is as much as Hyper Magic, I don't know what I want to call it, because Hyper Magic is just like Jet plus you know, the other companions, but I don't know. Chongqing Razor OTK is, I guess that's fine. It doesn't roll off quite off the tongue, but even without food, it's surprisingly consistent, because when I saw this deck and I like tested it out, I'm like, there's no way you make it through without food, but you do, because it trades all of that food out for pure consistency. You know, to by the turn, you know, it's an OTK deck. By turn 3, you're gonna have Jet proc and then give you extra dice, and that's enough to just completely sweep the opponent off their feet.
That is terrifying. Oh my
and of course, you know, on the side of Inzaghi playing Yelan OTK, it is gonna be a pretty similar aspect, but they do have those 2 Lotus Crypts to defend himself if, you know, problems arise, which I feel like we'll see how it goes. I'll comment more on it later, but let's get started in the round.
Sure. Man, I really like this new conquest format though, because it feels like it does take away some of like the uncertainty, like almost, you know, like it's not just rock paper scissors, because you can still play the same deck again. Yeah,
absolutely. Conquest format is an interesting thing to debate. I think, you know, because the idea is that, like, since there's a lot of characters in this game already, you know, again, every patch is like, you know, increasing. So, you know, like in theory, like you get to make a lot of decks, and like that's kind of how my opinion shifts. But at the same time, when it starts becoming you know, a lot more with these past patches, you know, all the way through 4.3. There are certain matchups where definitely some decks take,
Chivalry
you know, preference,
will never die.
and like, you know, of course, the player playing it is going to be more comfortable with their own thing.
I see.
So, you know, it adds that level of consistency, and we'll see if they utilize it this time.
And it looks like Ozma only actually swapped out one of their cards, and it was their Arcane Legends card from their starting hand.
Yeah, Arcane Legends are typically the ones to throw out, especially if it's not super quintessential to your game plan. You know, especially with the you know, loss of Stove, you know, not being the most like #1 card that you want to see in the deck. You know, it is okay to start like throwing out your Arcane Legends cards for what you want to start.
I see. Is Injagi's card skin like some tournament winning skin?
Yes, that is the sorry, I'm stumbling over my words here. I was
No
like,
worries, no worries.
yes, but that
What is that from?
it is the Prince Cup Golden Card Back. Only the people
Wow.
who participate in Prince Cup get this card. So you can count on your fingers how many people
Gotcha.
have this card
My
back.
God.
Super rare.
My guy's side of the screen is just a flex, but anyway. He starts off with a Yalan.
Is this skill?
It's a skill, I see. Applying Hydro on Xingqiu.
Yeah, drop the little extra, you know, with their starting action cards. You got Yayoi to reduce the artifact by a little bit and then place it onto her. And then they're probably going to go for their infused normal attack, which technically counts as a charge attack because they're even dice. And it'll do 1 more damage.
Ozma placing a ton of support cards right now. Basically fully filling the board, but I think that's pretty good because they do have that card on the extreme right. Don't they,
Yeah. Yep, they do. All the way on the extreme right is the Senyata Flower, which will destroy any support card in your zone and then give you 2 more support cards, and then also reduce any other support card by 1.
I see. So it looks like Ozma is really going to be spamming a lot of support cards this game.
Yeah, and that all feeds into the jet engine / jet engine, which we didn't really talk about earlier.
It's the fuel for the engine.
Yeah, it's the fuel for the engine. You know, she's going to take any support cards that you have destroyed through the entire game, which is great. You know, she doesn't have to be on field the entire time. And if she hits 5 stacks and you use your elemental burst, then she will generate that many dice -2.
That is crazy. That's exciting. I'm very excited to see it. Injagi. Let's see what Injagi has in response to that. They only have 2 die left. What do you think they're gonna do here?
Let me see here. So if most likely, I believe the food card in their hand is NSC. Yep. So that means they can launch out 1 more normal attack.
Oh, they can. Xingqiu's already on 3 health from that turn alone. This reminds me a lot about the game we saw earlier, actually, for 3rd place.
Yeah, no,
another
absolutely.
very early Yelan burst.
Yeah, not only Yelan early burst, but the opponent's, opponent's starting card starting to fall super early, which, could be potentially dangerous. As long as Xingqiu does a skill, he should be able to survive just that teeny bit more, but not by a lot.
Alright, both players rolling their die. Injagi with not too great a hand.
Yep. Alright, let's see here. I think, yeah, actually, Ozma really needs to drop a Xingqiu skill here, or they are gonna be cooked.
Ooh, would they even survive with a Xingqiu skill though? I wonder. And don't forget, Ozma has no healing. That is terrifying. But Ozma is also really loaded on die right now.
Yeah, it's a good point because I'm just so used to every deck, like no matter what, like it's a staple to run Lotus Flower.
Rain
I'm like,
outlines your fate.
it's not here. You can't do anything.
Yeah, you can't heal this Xingqiu. That's kind of scary.
It's a terrifying thing to come up with. Here you should be okay because Yelan burst only does 1 damage, and then you kind of repeat it back. But after that, you are in lethal range.
I see. So hopefully he can at least get one of Xingqiu's bursts off. That would be pretty strong.
Yeah. Yeah, and the nice thing about Xingqiu's burst, it's really interesting to compare like the apple and orange, like Yelan and Xingqiu. They're very similar, but also very different and very different usages, which is a great way of showing their abilities in the main game and in TCG.
I see. And Injagi actually doesn't know that Ozma has no healing, so that's an interesting point to think about.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something to consider. Like, at this level, I think they would probably understand each other's decks to the point where it's yeah, you don't have healing, but it's still it's still just not a mentality I could stick to. It's you've been pretty much for the entire year. It's you always put at least Lotus and then you're good.
Well, it might be
Here comes
obvious
the
this
catch.
time. Oh, here comes the elemental burst out on Xingqiu. Just like you said, it only does 1 damage, so not too bad. However, her next attack will probably take out Xingqiu, so Ozma has to do something quick.
Oh, interesting. The Catherine. Catherine is a very rare card to see, so it is a treat to seeing her actually being played. So.
Well, what does she do?
She allows it so that every time, once per round, she lets you have a free fast swap.
Oh, free fast swap. All right. Do you think Ozma's gonna use that to like, save their Sing 2 from peril by swapping off?
I think most likely, but it's also a little dangerous because Xingqiu does currently have Lightning Rod attached,
Oh,
and
he
they're not gonna
does.
shove it off. Yeah. So if Inzaghi for whatever reason had a fast swap, like it's not a very likely scenario. Of course, we as caster can see it, but
You're
it would be a very bad.
Witness the power
Right.
of Hua.
All right, and out comes the burst before Sing 2 will inevitably go down. And Jagi back on the Yelan with her burst ready, but she only has 4 health as well.
Yeah, Yelan, both Yelan and Xingqiu in these OTK decks, because typically Xingqiu survives for a little longer, but thanks to his little rain sword shield, but not this time.
Yeah, not this time. He's going down early. Oh, never mind. The swap over to Thundering Manifestation, leaving not Yelan, Sing 2 on 2 health only.
Yeah, and Inzaghi will definitely be able to secure the lethal on Xingqiu, even if he's got his job done. Definitely don't want to lose that kind of like little HP pool so early.
Ooh, it's a pretty smart play though, because Ozma is intentionally causing Inzaghi to, kind of waste one of Yelan's burst charges in a way, right?
Not quite. It's more because Yelan is rounds, so she gets a little more flexibility with it.
Oh, wait, how does the rounds work?
Rounds is just like, so after this round it'll go down by 1 and you get infinite. You can, as long as you have dice, then you can always use it.
Oh, that's insane. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
it's super duper strong. The cost of her being 3 energy, but then Yelan has a bunch of extra perks, to offset the fact that she costs 3 energy.
I see. All right, Inzaghi thinking, wait, no, Ozma's thinking about what to do here.
Yeah, it's a pretty dangerous position. Like, even if, like I said, if you got your Xingqiu, your Xingqiu stuff off, it's really not really the easiest thing to swallow because, like we said, no food, so your character is gone, they're gone. You can't do anything about it. Every health point matters.
He's a really good source of shield, isn't he? Which helps with like sustaining the rest of his team.
Yeah, just like even like it's an interesting thing. It's kind of like a little bit, not necessarily a debate, but like a thing I brought up with a player all the way back in like the start of the game. Because there were not a lot of cards back then. So I'm like, oh, do you really need a Xingqiu skill? And Attila, who's a really good American player, brought up. It's like, it's usually enough to survive just that little bit, 1 extra damage that you need. And in an OTK round, that kind of every point of damage. So.
That is true. That is true. But looks like Sing 2 might go down really early here, and Jagi on the Thundering Manifestation.
Inzaghi is loading up, ready to knock out Xingqiu. It is very nice that they don't have gamblers this round, so they couldn't just completely sweep them off their feet.
That would be terrifying. Ozma got pretty lucky there that Inzaghi did not have it to roll gamblers.
Yeah, because even at like a turn 1 to 2 scenario, like this is already going so quick to an extent.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna like bring it up like too much, but it's like so befuddling that like how much it matters on Ozma's side that like you have no extra health points. You lose it. Everything costs something, and there's the electro charge.
I have done everything.
There's like no doing any damage done. Like Chongyun's forever going to be below 9 health.
I'll scout ahead.
Or 9 health max,
Absolutely.
At least there's still a remaining shield on Razor, but he takes another 2 health from the Yelan burst.
Present.
Oh, I haven't lost yet. Swap over to the Chongyun.
Very interesting play here. Because Razor is kind of the end game hyper carry. Chongyun definitely can carry, but not as hard as Razor. So I think they're intentionally pushing the Hydro application off to him, so Chongyun can't get frozen.
Can't get frozen.
Oh,
can't get frozen. I see. Smart. Alright, Ozma ending their round, ensuring that they get to act first next round.
Yeah, that acting first is going to be quintessential to pushing through this scenario.
The reaction damage is so painful for Ozma, who has no healing.
Yeah, already down to double 6s. Not the best position, and I do believe Inzaghi does have Lotus Crisp with the 2 food cards in hand.
Yikes. I'm a bit worried for Ozma, unless Ozma manages to somehow bring this back with the jet engine they have.
Yeah, something to mention here is that This is kind of just a concept I kind of clumped together for every character who does like, you know, like one attack and then another attack. For Razor on his burst, he gets the wolf within, so he'll attack and then he gets his second attack with his wolf. And then also he has Xingqiu Ray Swords, which I kind of all clumped together to be like Lotus Breaker. So Inzaghi will be able to prevent a big damage like initially, but you're still going to take 2 extra coordinated points of damage if Ozma gets their burst off.
I see. Well, Ozma really needs his burst then.
Yeah.
Playing
they
even
even
more
dropped
support
in
cards.
the I haven't lost yet to make sure that Razor gets a little bit of... Ooh! Passing
Arcane
Judgment.
Legends card.
It's going to be preventing Inzaghi from using any event card, so that that fast swap in hand or leave it to me. The arcane card is all null and void. You can't use none of it.
Yikes. Okay, but does that
Fourth,
really
my play.
affect Ozma in any way, shape, or form? It doesn't really seem like it did.
I think it does, yeah, because it gives Ozma a lot more freedom. Inzaghi also can't Lotus, you know, assuming that one cost card is the Lotus, of course.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it did get quite in the way of Inzaghi being able to protect himself against Ozma's onslaught of attacks. Now on to Inzaghi's turn.
Yeah, holding them down a little bit of a corner here.
They do have a Thundering Manifestation burst ready though. That is very scary, especially given that Ozma's characters are only on 6 health.
Yeah, it's a pretty strong burst. You know, for the end phase for the most part, but I don't think you want them to get that off. Chongqing is holding a chance to freeze, but it's the question if Ozma's gonna take it.
Inzaghi's still considering what to do here. Does he use his Signora or does he swap off?
Yeah, Ozma has to consider that they only have 4 dice left. Even if they get their free fast swap into Razor, they still haven't pulled Jet, so they can't spawn more dice thanks to restoring their support cards.
Yeah,
and,
you're right.
You know, and
they
even if
haven't
they
pulled Jet. Yikes.
Yeah, even if they have the Gilded Dreams but can generate more dice, it's not gonna be a lot.
Watch your back.
That's really unlucky, isn't it? The fact that he hasn't drawn Jet yet.
Alright, gonna use Gilded Dreams, very nice. Just to
Getting
fix
some
the dice
extra
properly
die.
for Razor. Yeah, and thinking about what to play, it should most likely be Liar Song, so you can reduce Gilded Dreams all the way down to 1, play it again, and then you get a little extra dice. But even then, it is looking a little risky.
Yeah, Ozma does not have a lot of options because he's so lacking in die. And now he's out of die, but freezing Signora and bringing her down to 3 health. That is not enough to take her out though. And she still has to resurrect.
Yeah, absolutely. There we go. Actually, yeah, since they did that attack there, you know, there is actually no chance now to pull back the Gilded Dreams off of Razor and then play it again to generate more dice. So they're actually kind of out right now.
Ooh, yikes. True. More support cards played.
They're gonna go
Ozma.
fishing for something else, but I don't think anything. They could go fishing for Jet, but that's not gonna help you without any dice. So, all right, 2 random support cards. Unfortunately, not the most usable.
Jet. No, he's not pulling his win condition, is he? Is his win
not
condition
really.
Jet?
Yeah, no, not really, and that is definitely the quintessential piece of this deck. Of course, Inzaghi is not holding too much pressure here because they did swap to Yelan, and they don't have any Gilded Dreams or Liar Song active, and they can't. They also can't play Covenant in the Rock, so they can't generate even more dice. So they have to kind of attack with just one character and call it.
But he does have quite a bit of health advantage though on Inzaghi's side, and he does have his Thundering Manifestation nuke already, which is kind of scary.
Absolutely. Interesting. Yeah, just dropping in Ellen to draw another support card from their deck. Unfortunately, not the one they wanted, so.
Yikes. Ozma's probably in a pretty bad situation right now, not needing the cards that they really, really desperately need. 0 die on the board, not many options. Is there only option to end turn here?
Unfortunately, I think, like, yeah, looking at it, that's kind of all the options they have left. They could, you know, like drop Chang the Ninth, which is the blue shirt guy, you know, to get a free to get him stacked up, but it's really not that worth it, all things considered. Oh, they're gonna do it, yeah.
But looks like they're doing it. Ending their round, putting them in a very risky position. They can no longer respond to anything Inzaghi does.
Yeah. So interesting. They think they of course they're out of dice, but they also you know, opted not to swap the Chonian because if Inzaghi did have Gamblers, Gamblers is not an event card. It's just an equipment, so you can just put it on and then sweep the game. GG's.
I see. Thundering Manifestation has their burst ready. Will they pop it?
Inzaghi's mostly, you know, Inzaghi most likely is calculating for that since even if it is their last chance to do, or most likely last chance because Yelan is still alive, to do their normal attacks with the Hydro dice.
True.
Yeah, and at base, let's see here. So, you know, Thunder Manifestation is 1. So, and then plus the current Hydro application on Razor, that's 2. And then dropping the second, you know, dice, that's going to be 2 again. That's going to drop him down to... Oh, they're going to opt for burst. Oh, wait, that's really smart. I just realized something.
Oh, no. Is Razor dead?
Yeah, Razor is cooked.
Razor is cooked. Oh my goodness. So Ozma's gonna be left on a 1 health Chongyun. Am I understanding this correctly?
Yep.
Oh dear.
Very unfortunate.
Oh,
After
wait, never
all
mind. Chongyun
that
gets taken
training.
out by the end phase, leaving Razor on 3 health. That's terrifying.
Yeah, that Lightning Rod debuff, something I actually didn't quite account for, is going to take out Chonian. Thankfully, he was able to there take the damage. Still not a great position. 1 character versus 3.
True, and no food or anything to help mitigate the damage. I do think this might be a GG for Ozma.
Yeah. Let's see. They might throw out a last hurrah. I always respect. Oh no, we're gonna go concede. Okay.
And Ozma chooses to throw in the towel, which is fair because it does not look good for Ozma.
Yeah,
But who knows,
a
the second-
1v3 situation, no healing. You know, there's really no chance of comeback. But still, very pretty good plays across the board from both players. That's their first round, Inzaghi taking it.
Yes, hopefully the second game will be a bit luckier for Ozma, not getting the support cards he needed. And Ozma has the option to play the same deck again. I wonder if we'll see it.
Yeah, absolutely. This Conquest format, once again, introducing the consistency a bit to, you know, what you're playing. But I don't know. After that, I would not be inclined to play, you know, Razor OTK. I'd feel a little worried. I'm like, okay, well,
Me too,
Jet
me
didn't want to
too.
come home, so I guess we're not going to do that anymore.
Especially with like all the poke damage, you know, he can't undo any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
no
that really is
sustain.
the most scary part of it. And that's why, like, it's a mad respect to the players who do actually bring it, because it's like you're putting all of it on the line. I mean, let's not mince words here. This is a pretty big competition.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm really excited to see what they'll play for the next game. And Ozma really needs to win this one if he wants a chance at winning the $1,000 grand prize for first place.
And those coveted cat's tail points.
Yes, exactly. Are all the players playing here today and like getting enough points to go to the Series Showdown?
So that's something I actually didn't get a chance to mention. We were kind of like blazing through the rule set earlier because that's just how we do things around here. But all of these players are not currently present on the leaderboard for the Asia Series Showdown. So whatever scoring they'll get out of this will put them on the leaderboard. And kind of for the most part, like 1st through 4th place is usually guaranteed to get to the leaderboard. Of course, there's a lot of other tournament rulings that need to go through, but especially first place is like guaranteed.
So we'll get to see them. Anyway, Ozma's playing Fischl Nahida Linny. Finally. Oh, so Ozma actually chose to change their deck, opting not to continue with the Razor Chongyun deck that they played earlier. What do you think about this, man?
Finally coming back, you know, like we saw last time, and then we flip over to Zagi. Oh, switching it over.
Swapping over to the Singtu Chongyun Razor deck is the Ono reverse card. Wow.
You lost with it. Now I'm going to win with it, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know how I would feel about that if I was the opponent. That would be so scary.
Yeah, I
the
do.
mind
Yeah,
games almost.
it is nice that finally does have that little bit of fallback thanks to Linny and his healing. But who knows? You know, if Inzaghi is able to pop off and just grab all the cards he needs and slam down that damage. And
That's actually really scary. Like, imagine if Inzaghi was like, imagine if Inzaghi thought Ozma might continue with the deck, then he would be like straight up being like, you know what, I'm gonna 1v1 with the exact same deck. That's scary. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it is
Very
the,
interesting.
you know, kind of like punch back and forth fest if you have a mirror. A mirror between those characters, you know, those character lines would be very interesting. But this is the round we have before our eyes, and we're gonna be waiting for it to start very shortly.
Yeah. All right. Now we have the starting hand for both players.
Yep. Oh, who is that? It's sitting in Zaghi's hand.
Oh my gosh, no way! Inzaghi getting the very much needed jet that Ozma did not see at all in the previous game. Well, that hurts for Ozma.
Yeah, turn one jet. Now, typically you don't like her in turn 1, but considering that Ozma was not able to draw it last round, Inzaghi might get getting second thoughts about throwing her away so
Looks like...
early. He's like,
Looks
oh,
Inzaghi's
I don't
really
want that to
thinking
happen
about
to
it.
me.
Yeah, like, oh, I got the jet.
Oh, toss it away. Oh, huge high
to
roll.
The threads of your fate lie in my
And
hands.
so about the jet? He's confident he's gonna get that jet again. That's terrifying.
He's not only confident that he's gonna get that jet again, but he got high roll with the double junior dot start, which is the key to any companion engine because you can draw out the rest of your companions with her.
What? Wait, he did? Inzaghi has a lady luck smiling upon him today.
Yeah, let's definitely not discredit Ozma, of course, because I personally would favor, you know, finally in this matchup, just because I mostly would believe in fallback mechanisms more than I do pure aggression.
I see. Yep, let's see if Lenny's self-sustain can actually bring Ozma this very much needed win here.
Absolutely.
Oz being spawned on the field. The double Dunizard. That
they're both kind of playing
different
support packs. They got Ozma's got the double court on the deck. And it's also get a guaranteed trigger because even it works off equipment cards, but since nobody equipped anything.
No, my sword!
Vorokash is being played on Sing 2, followed by his elemental skill, giving him a shield, applying Hydro on Fischl.
Time to broaden the horizons
And
again.
now Ozma chooses to swap to Nahida, bringing the turn back to Inzaghi.
Yeah, should be an interesting scenario. Yeah, because Inzaghi was able to cleanse off the Electro, but regardless, Nahida will still at least get her Quicken.
Grow!
It looks like we're gonna get some Quicken on Xingqiu, although some of the damage will be mitigated by the shield, and Xingqiu already has his burst ready. Thanks to that first round.
Inzaghi is slowly getting the pieces of the pie because Senyato Flower is just drawn and is ready to go for next round.
Oh, wow. Yikes.
If anything, if you're feeling a little crazy, you could destroy your Junior Zod right now. I'm just gonna go through that. you could. I mean, it's a little crazy if you do that, but...
Throw his Dunizard right now to get another support card?
Mostly just to push the counter forward, but yeah, it'll be a little insane to do that.
That'll be really funny. Inzaghi's thinking. What do you think he's thinking about? Do you think he's
he might be thinking about doing it? I'm just saying.
Oh my goodness.
What if I?
True. Right. He's still considering. Does the time you take across rounds matter? It does, right? Like if he eats into his time now, it's gonna eat into his time later, correct?
Not completely. There is a point where I believe the timer effectively resets in between rounds, but of course, like if you sit in the dice roll, you sit in the card screen, it's gonna chew into your regular time. So.
I see. Alright, Ozma's chosen to end the round with no die left, so Ozma will get to start first. And here comes the unfazed damage onto Chungyun, actually denying the reaction on Sing 2.
Good move to deny the reaction. It's always a little scary with Quicken because Nahida can output a ton of damage once she gets that on you, so.
True, because of all the reaction buffs she provides.
Yep.
Alright, Ozma has a ton of Dendro die ready to be used.
Committed to memory.
Yeah, nice dropping into Sea League, preparing that card draw. Oh, hey, there's another one.
Oh, another one. Alright, the seeds doing some spread damage over on Indagi's side, but Indagi has food, unlike Ozma previously, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, Ozma currently has Adeptus Temptation in hand, actually would be able to finish off Razor. Of course, that is, but not Razor, I'm sorry. Showing you, I looked at the wrong character. Whoop, whoop.
I see. Wow, that's scary.
Yeah, it would be definitely a bit of a greedy play, though. You know, waste all your dice on that. So
yeah, and there is still Razor as a threat. I don't know if taking out Chengin is it that big of a deal?
Yeah, no, not really, because you'll still be like staring down Razor, plus Xingqiu, which is enough, and also Inzaghi drew in the I haven't lost yet. So if you take one out, you're gonna
gonna face the wrath of the remaining two teammates.
Absolutely.
Inzaghi now thinking about what to do with their Chongyun. Will they skill or will they swap? That is the question.
Yes. One interesting thing to know about I haven't lost yet is that ever since there was an adjustment, because it used to be a very overbearing card, because you used to be able to play twice after a round. If you remember, like, you know, like it's like, oh, someone went down, but I have double. I haven't lost yet.
Oh wait, you can't play two anymore?
Yeah, no, they changed it, so that's why you stopped seeing it so recently. But Ozma decided to run two in their deck, so that is interesting.
I see. Looks like they're quite ready to sacrifice some of their characters, and now we have Xingqiu on the board.
Oh, that was Adeptus Temptation, plus 3 damage on
Adeptus
burst.
Temptation. Are they gonna take out Xingqiu?
I think they might.
That could be huge, wouldn't it? Because Xingqiu would have no burst ready.
Yeah, no rain sword, so it's gonna be fully relying on Chongyun and Razor, which is definitely less advantageous than Electro Charge. Or well, not that much.
For sure. I mean, it's so important to get your burst out at Xingqiu, isn't it?
Yeah, especially because Xingqiu has no time limit on his burst, so once it's out for the entire round, and you have full utilization.
The Temple of Wisdom!
And Ozma actually take Inzaghi Xingqiu out, leaving Inzaghi only with Chongyun and Razor. No option for the Xingqiu Raid Swords. That is terrifying.
Yeah, very difficult situation to be in, even with 7 dice. I do believe, was that a Gambler's proc? We'll see in a few seconds if that proc Gamblers to get extra dice so they can kind of get out of the way now.
Now Ozma has no die left, but Inzaghi has 7 die and quite a lot of cards in their hand, along with I haven't lost yet. So maybe he can make a comeback from this.
Yeah, also no Gamblers, so it's gonna be Nikita's gonna be stuck on field, but I think she's done a pretty good job already, you know.
A touch of frost.
And now she's gonna be taking a bit of a beating, unfortunately. But Inzaghi's die does not look very well tuned to the characters he has on the field. Will he sacrifice his cards just to get that extra damage out? Or is he going to play... All support cards are pretty much 0 cost. There's not much he can do here.
Yeah, no, not too much. There is the I haven't lost yet, so you give Razor 1 energy charge, but then you still have to tune at minimum 1 card to get rid of all the stuff.
He could also just normal attack, because there is that 1 Electro die.
Oh, burning away Senyatta. Just got two random support cards. Not the most useful. It's Catherine and Iron Tongue. It's all right.
I see. I'm honestly kind of rooting for Ozma here because I want a game 3.
Yeah, I kind of want a game 3. We get to see the OTK decks, but will they get flat this time
It'll be so exciting. And I haven't lost it. It's being played on Razor as expected, leaving Nikita on 1 health after using his elemental skill. His burst is now ready. That's kind of scary.
Yeah, a little scary, especially with Nahida really only being able to get 1 seed debuff on Chongyun, and you know, not pretty much a non-zero chance of Inzaghi ever swapping back there because Razor is charged up and ready to roll next round.
Yeah, Razor is ready. Gambler's even equipped. Oh, he is ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. I got no more.
He's very ready. Yeah, but it looks like Inzaghi's out of die, so you might have to maybe just play a support card and end the turn here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gamblers
at the end of the turn is always just it's a little bit of a hand. It's a little bit of showing off your hand, but also it's like, you know, I gotta do something.
It's kind of scary for Ozma though. Ozma has no cards in his hand. That's very few options if his die roll doesn't look too good, but he did get 2 Omni and 2 Denjo. Just nice for his Nahida, who's not currently on field.
let's see what happens here.
He could do a 5 on his Nahida, the 5 cost elemental skill before she inevitably will go down.
Oh wait, yeah, Tandoori's chicken. Plus 2.
Tandoori's chicken?
Whoa! I think that's it.
7 damage onto the Razor, taking him out with these Seas of Skanda. That's crazy. There goes the hard-earned burst that Injagi farmed from that 1-0 Nahida. That's crazy.
Yeah, huge play. You know, I really didn't consider the Tandoori chicken would come in because it is a very dangerous card to use because it satiates all your characters. You know, and you have to make sure that works. Or you're done for. But
That's
it did work out.
terrifying. Wait, how did Nahida manage to go again? Am I missing something?
No, Chongyun hit back.
Oh, Chongyun hit back. Oh, wow, I missed
Yeah,
that.
it just wasn't a lot. Yeah.
GG's. Wow, that was so fast.
Yeah, back
Oh
to
my
back
goodness.
concede to seed. Razor OTK is not doing too hot this time, but it was cool to see it regardless.
Really showing the strength of the finally deck. That was impressive. Really well played by Ozma. And that looks like we're gonna go into a game 3, which is exactly what we're hoping for, Kojo. Let's go.
Yes, game 3. We're gonna see something different this time around, or maybe one of the, or at least, you know, on Ozma's side, maybe they'll keep it deck, or no, they have to switch. Inzagi's the one
Ozma
that may
has
keep it.
switched now. Yeah. He could he switch back to the previous deck he played actually since he lost on it?
Technically, yes.
Technically, yes. Oh, so what do you think went wrong for Injagi there? Was it the unexpected nuke on the Sig 2 that cost him the game?
It was definitely the unexpected double nuke. You really don't like. Okay, you have to expect for finally that like there's going to be a ton of damage coming out, but you really, especially when a player usually runs only 1 Adeptus, 1 Tandoori, you really don't expect it to come super early. But it's always just a tiny thing to consider.
True. Ozma got pretty lucky this game. Looks like his luck from his previous game transferred over. You know, being able to pull both those cards and allow him to take out both characters is insane to me.
Yeah, from finalies, like, you know, original cousin RXN, it's always, oh man, Raiden got Adeptus plus burst. Yeah,
that must have been so painful for Injagi. You know, every time he's set up, it just gets shut down. Oof.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like he was doing his best to like play around the fact that losing Xingqiu, and you know, it's like, all right, fueled up Razor and Tandoori chicken.
Yeah, and then Razor got wrecked. Yikes. I really thought he really had a chance of bringing that back. Ozma is now playing Mona, Eula, Wander. We saw this earlier, didn't we?
Yeah, Mew in a pretty similar lineup. The only difference being Fruit of Fulfillment, which will draw you 2 cards, and Heavy Strike, which I definitely want to see because that is a very very potent card, especially when finishing off your opponents. Otherwise, nothing too much different.
I see. And it looks like we don't have a lot. Oh, we have the egg to bring someone back.
Yeah, that's definitely a good catch. I was considering, I'm like, egg is not something I typically see here, but it does make a ton of sense to run since, you know, now that it is only 2 costs, even without, you know, some sort of reduction, it's worth it enough to just tank that one little damage that you need.
But he has 2 Lotus Crisp, although he doesn't have any like sustain healing.
Yeah, definitely just fully relying on like the Mona, you know, Mew gameplay to checkmate your opponents. Should work out for the most part, but we'll see, you know.
That is very exciting. I really hope to see how Ozma will use his hand here. And Injagi opting to play the same deck with the Sing 2 Chongyun and Razor again.
He took off the glasses. Nah, I'd win.
Yeah, so far this deck has not won at all in this series of 3 games. So let's see if Injagi is able to bring it back with this very last round for $1,000. It's kind of scary, you know. These players, they're playing for an extra $400. That's quite a lot.
Yeah, that's quite a lot. Like, you can do a lot with that. But I mean, outside of that, I'm really hoping you draw a Jet because, I mean, I don't think we can count it as this round goes this time, but like I don't think they had enough procs to do it. But even the fact of just not even having, you know, Jet on hand means that you weren't gonna get that, you know, crazy dice round in OTK.
True. We still have yet to see the Jet engine truly in action, and I'm really hoping to see it in this game.
Yeah, lots of Senyana flowers, but no Jet engine. But we'll see.
Yes. Well, looks like we're going into the final game of the series for an extra $400. Second place still gets 600. That's which is quite a lot, but $1,000 is a lot more.
Yeah, all right.
Very
Let's do
exciting
it.
here. Oh my goodness. What do you think about these two decks against each other?
It's hard to say. Like the thing about Razor OTK is that if it works, it works. But if it doesn't, oh no.
Oh,
You
true.
were kind of cooked. But on the other hand, I think Mew personally has a bit of a favored matchup since it has the freeze reaction because you can just stop anybody that tracks you if you need to.
I see.
First of all, is going to depend on, how the dice and cards fall in their favor, because Inzaghi totally could get an early snipe
This
on
is
Wanderer
destiny.
Romona, and, that might be a bit of an issue.
Oh, we're looking at the Fontaine board on the left for Inzaghi's screen. It's very pretty.
They introduced last patch. It's always so cool. Like every board has little special effects. Like Mondstadt, there's little dandelions, and then Fontaine, if you go all the way out, you can see that you're under the water.
Oh, that's so nice, actually. I really like
It's
it.
probably the most subtle effect, but then like you see it in like full screen, it's like, oh, that's nice.
Alright, same opening as before. Getting the Vorkashes on Sing2, probably going to skill, get the shield out, and apply Hydro on Mona. And on Ozma's side, will we see a similar skill from Mona? Probably.
Yeah.
Ozma got pretty lucky with the die roll, actually. 3 Omni die.
Yeah, no, pretty good. Plenty to do with your deck. Interestingly, the character order is a little different. It doesn't matter too much, but I always kind of put Mona in the middle. And
What do you want from me?
Why is that the case? Oh,
mostly because most things in this game go right. So if Mona was to be overloaded, she'd be pushed into Eula, which is not the position you want to be in personally.
Oh, I see. But it looks like Inzaghi doesn't have overloaded anyway. It doesn't really have a lot of swapping mechanisms, so it doesn't hurt too much for Ozma, but that is a good point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's always just like character order is like a thing that kind of matters sometimes, but it's a thing that I really pick at when looking at how people present their decks.
I mean, it's also not too hard to just, configure your orientation, so you might as well stay safe, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
Otherwise, pretty standard turn 1. Just dropping extra support cards, getting your characters ready. We were actually able to see Wanderer start his swirl action, but we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah. Alright, going into the roll phase again. I'm so surprised that he didn't actually apply Mona's skill, because I thought, oh, I guess there's no need to, because Sing2 applied the Hydra on himself.
Yeah, that is true, huh? A little bit of a downside.
And Inzaghi did the work.
It's okay, brother. I do the work for you.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, interestingly here, Ozma, to an extent, is kind of baiting out Inzaghi the opposite direction, my bad. Inzaghi will apply Hydro inevitably to Wanderer, and therefore, if they swap the Chonyon, then Wanderer can freeze him, and then he's kind of out for the turn.
True, that's pretty terrifying. But it looks like Ozma actually rolled quite a bit of enamel die, so he'll probably use it pretty soon, unless he gets frozen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although that will require 2 turns on Inzaghi's part.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We got her in hand. Inzaghi has Jet in hand.
Inzaghi is Jet. Oh, that's a bit scary for Ozma.
Yeah, still gotta chew through quite a few support cards, but it's good that it's there. That's the important part. It needs to
That
exist
is true.
in
It
your
is
hand.
good that she's there. Rather than when she's like not there when you really need her.
For sure.
Alright, Sing2 has his burst ready.
Ozma most likely gonna equip that instructors, get 1 extra dice, and then just keep attacking you.
But he's definitely gonna get frozen, or at least gonna take quite a bit of a beating. Pretty soon. Alright, 3 damage on Chongyun. The swirl doing an extra 1 damage on Sing2 and Razor.
Yep. Yeah,
Back
actually
to
getting
Inzaghi.
Chonyon a little lower because Ozma does have a good amount of dice on hand. Actually, wouldn't be a terrible thing right now.
Mhm.
Oh, fast swap.
The
Oh,
fast
jumping out
swap
of there.
over to Chongyun, probably to freeze the Wanderer. That's gonna hurt Ozma a lot. He has a
Mhm.
lot of Anemo die in hand and he can't do anything about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That is a huge issue that you're gonna run into, and the thing that we predicted it earlier. It is gonna happen.
Oh, he is gearing up his Chongyun. Ozma must be like, oh shoot.
Ah, shoot. Wanderer's getting frozen.
Yeah, Wanderer's gonna get frozen. Yikes. That was a bit of a risk he was taking, I guess, but.
Force my blade.
And here comes the freeze, along with a 4 damage on Wanderer, leaving him really low.
Oh,
and now
lots of
Ozma's
Ooh.
stuck with 5 Anemo die.
What's your battle plan?
Let's swap over to Eula. He's gonna have to tune some die though if he wants to do anything apart from normal attacks with her.
Yeah, pretty much. And also that I I wish we could see the weapon, but it is if it's WGS, this is a problem. Yeah. This Chonyon sitting low at 6 HP. That is WGS range.
Oh, you're right. That'll be really good for Ozma. I wonder if Ozma's thinking about it.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely something to consider when you're pushed this far back. You'll even get dice efficiency from it because Liban will just take your last extra dice.
Yep.
Oh, pushing over.
Oh, the pushed over to the Sing Tiu. So it looks like Ozma wouldn't even be able to capitalize off Wolf's Gravestone onto Chongyun.
Yeah, if it was even there. Not the worst thing, not the end of the world. Definitely can just drop a normal attack, call it a day.
Yep,
you
true,
know,
true,
looks
true.
like you're not really
Build up
in
to
the
her
scena-
burst. Not too bad, not too bad.
Yeah, not really in the
Awesome.
scenario to, be dropping any character right now. So.
Ozma's still thinking about what they want to do here. Do they want to tune any of their cards? Their cards look pretty good though. I don't know if they want to tune any of them.
Yeah, no, all their cards are pretty quintessential. Like, realistically, the only thing you could tune is Dunyarzad, and it doesn't really matter because you need way more. You need way more.
Yeah,
cards,
you need to. It's really that freeze was really powerful on the Wanderer right there. Really, getting in the way of Ozma's momentum.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just gotta think carefully. This is kind of the pivotal turn that decides how your future round is gonna be. Oh, it is Wolf's Gravestone.
Oh,
boy.
Wolf's Gravestone. All right. But now Inzaghi knows that there's Wolf Gravestone on Eula. Although I have a feeling he probably anticipated it. You know, swapping off the Chongyun maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
These high-level players with their foresight.
Yeah, even if Wolf's Gravestone onto Chonyon wouldn't necessarily take him out, it would. It's a problem. Like, there's no healing, so your Chonyon was gonna.
True. Wait, Inzaghi has no healing either, correct?
Inzaghi is the one with no healing. Ozma just has 2 lotuses and eggs, so it's still
Lotus
pretty
Crest.
low. But
Yeah, it does. Does Jet Engine never run healing? That is so scary.
No, Jet Engine can run healing. It's just specifically this deck is purely focused on just running straight forward and never
Running down the enemy. I see. But it doesn't look like he's very geared up to run down Ozma, though. Unfortunately.
Yeah, not quite. Yeah, it's very quintessential to get, at least your Xingqiu burst off. And, like, even if Xingqiu's in a position where it's like, oh, I have on-demand freeze, as soon as I drop my burst, it's not that great.
Yeah, exactly. And Inzaghi can't even drop his burst right now, can he? Or could he tune two of his die to drop Saint-Tu's burst? Does it cost only 3?
Definitely could. Definitely. Yeah, it costs only 3. Definitely could do it, but looks like they're fishing for something. Either that, or they're planning on feeding all their dice into Liban.
I see. Well, let's see if Inzaghi's going fishing. You are quite right, though. I'm surprised he hasn't used his Sing-Tu burst at all. Why do you think he's been holding on to it for so long?
Most likely because of Jet, because Jet does not proc unless you use an elemental burst. Oh! Okay.
Oh, and here comes Jet! Our first time seeing Jet in these games today.
Yep. Yeah, and she has 5 stacks. Yeah, she finally gets to be
5 stacks. That is scary. Oh, dear. I am worried for Ozma.
Yeah, 5 stacks will guarantee that Jet procs on the next burst activation. The question is, where is Inzaghi going to get that dice from? It looks like he's not.
Oh, the double Jet. How much die is that? Arcade Legends as well?
Yeah, it looks like they're most likely going to drop that Yayo Natsuki to reduce their Gilded Dreams and then also put it on the Xingqiu and then just have just enough to squeeze out a burst and then finish.
And then he's gonna go out swinging. Oh gosh, wait. Is it gonna be this round or is it gonna be next round? It's this round,
yeah.
That's terrifying. Oh my gosh.
There you go. Yayoi now see Gilded Dreams up there, 0 dice.
0 cost, Gilded Dreams.
Come on, we gotta see it. Yeah, just again, like being very careful because this is the pop-off turn.
Finally see the fabled jet engine.
I'm ready. Are you ready? It's full jet engine, double 6 stack. This
Witness
is
the
maximum
power.
Yep,
stack.
alright. Here we go.
Alright.
The burst coming out. Oh my goodness.
And a 1 and a 2. How many dice is
Giving him
that?
a full set of dice, effectively like a fresh new round. Ozma has nothing to say in response. He only has 1 die left.
It is as the stars foretold.
Swap over to the Mona, probably to soak up the damage. Yeah, you're right.
I'm sensing something a little scary here. I think Razor might be able to be fueled up.
Yeah. Alright, swap over to Razor. This round is so important. What happens by the end of this round will probably determine the game.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
absolutely. I think most likely Eula might be the only character left after Razor goes down to Pound Town.
Oh my gosh. Oh, the huge electro charge doing so much AoE damage across the board, and Ozma has nothing to do except end his round.
Yeah, thankfully it's not the full Razor combo. He hasn't dropped burst yet, but it's still going to be a lot of
dropped
damage.
burst yet.
Yeah, not yet. It's gonna happen.
Oh, and
My
Mona
reckoning.
is gone in the blink of an eye. And he has his burst ready, and there's still the rain swords and the shield.
Ready for
This
reconnaissance.
is looking really scary for Ozma. Although Ozma does have the turn advantage next turn, and Injagi has exhausted his jet engine. That was a huge turn for Injagi.
Yeah, Inzaghi
He is
unfortunately
ready.
just drew Gamblers off of his other cards, so he won't be able to, wasn't able to completely pop off that turn, but still very, very considerable. We finally got to see Jet Engine and max stacks too, no less.
Yeah,
oh, wait.
that was insane. The double jet engine. Oh,
We got one more. I got one more in me.
and one more swing in there on the
yep.
7 health Eula.
Yeah, that drawing into Liar Song, making it so that Gilded Dreams can be played one more time.
Could Ozma have prevented all of this if he played his Arcane Legend card? Oh wait, no, that's the
No,
Wind and
that's
Freedom one, right?
unfortunately no.
Ah.
3 dice. Oh, Inzaghi is realizing that he cannot play Gamblers. So if he wanted to, take a big hit, take out Eula, unfortunately, not gonna happen.
Eula is going to survive to the next round, giving Ozma a chance to strike back, but he does get his burst out, and she is only on 3 health.
Yeah, very scary. How quickly a turn can change just with the proc of Jet Engine.
Yeah. Does Injagi have the game in the bag? That is so scary. I don't know how Ozma's gonna come back from this.
It's actually kind of terrifying to drop Razor Burst because now, as much as we've been focusing, on that side of things, Ozma has turn advantage on Eula. Razor has Hydro. You know what that means.
A frozen Razor, despite him having his burst ready, but he can just come back the next round, though, couldn't he?
Yeah, most definitely, but it is going to be purely reliant on Chonyun and Xingqiu to take care of the game, and they're both at Wolf's Gravestone range.
Yikes. But it looks like Ozma didn't get any Lotus Crisp or anything to help with the health situation. That's a bit scary.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. Both Xingqiu and Chonyun are fully capable of taking down a 3 HP opponent, so...
Yeah. Yikes. I am
Beg for mercy.
Or Ozma, but he does manage to freeze the Razor like we anticipated, so that's gonna be a force swap for Injagi. He does have a fast swap though, doesn't he? In
Yes,
his
absolutely.
inventory, and he has quite a lot of cards at his disposal.
Yeah, funny. This time they kind of swap roll Senjata, the one that's kind of key to making the Jet Engine happen. If you're not able to destroy the support cards on your own, is now coming in last, and now it's really much more of a brick because without Jet Engine, I mean, what are you gonna do with these?
True. Like, what's the point of using it? But it's okay. He can just, he can just use it as a
Pretty much a
die
tuning fodder. Yeah.
Yep, correct. Injagi's now considering where does he swap to. But I'm really worried about Ozma. I just don't see him being able to carry this back with both his characters so low. Like, a single attack could take them out.
Absolutely. You know, it's really hard to decide between Xingqiu and Chongyun because Xingqiu only does 2 damage on skill, so it's not going to be enough to finish Eula, and then she's just going to, you know, whack right back, and I'm pretty sure Xingqiu would be lights out.
Yeah, Xingqiu's gonna be frozen. Oh, wait, is he confident he can take her out?
Oh, going for a play, using Senjata, trying to redraw cards. 2 other support cards. I mean, I could talk about them, but they're not perfect for the scenario.
I see. Does he even have a chance of taking out Eula? This would be such a nail-biting moment for Ozma. He doesn't know if Inzaghi is something that could definitely, you know, wipe out that Eula. It will be a GG if his Eula gets wiped out. Alright, here comes the quick swap over to Xingqiu.
I see
and
that
Ozma decides to surrender. So game 3 goes to Inzaghi.
And that is GG's, yeah.
That is GG's. So that means that Inzaghi wins season 2 of the Cat's Tail Gathering. Oh my goodness, that was a very, very scary game. Congratulations once again to our champion Inzaghi for winning 2024 season 2 of the Cat's Tail Gathering.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a point I didn't consider with Rain Swords and the Cryo Sword activation. That means that Xingqiu gets on-demand freeze, so it was pretty much lights out for Ozma. So GG's.
Oh, he was. Yikes. That's terrifying.
Okay, huge shout out to our champion Inzaghi for winning the season 2 of the Casco Gathering. Like you said, that's a big win because season 2 is super duper important.
Yes, and Inzaghi takes home the game, despite playing the same deck twice. Like it's really amazing that he managed to make it work the second time. Super well with that double jet engine. Yep.
It had to prove it would happen, and now these players will be going home with their cash prizes as well as their Primo Gems. And not only that, but important news here: this is the conclusion of this block of qualifications for Series Showdown.
And it looks like our winners here today will actually be facing off against the previous winners of Season 1 in the upcoming Series Showdown next month, which is so exciting. I'm really excited to see them play against each other.
Series Showdown is going to be a crazy tournament, and if you want to look at who's going to be competing in Series Showdown, go ahead and check out Genshin Impact Tavern's Discord leaderboards at discord.gg/Genshin Impact Tavern, and of course, to sign up for future events like TCG.
Thank you for watching, everyone. This is Kettle.
And this is Coda. Have a great day, everybody.